Bear Their Soulz starts in 30 seconds. But first, we want to let you know that you now have a chance to appear on the Barroom and talk bears.
If you're a fan of the monsters of the Midway, you've got a voice, so don't keep it away. Every touchdown, every call, every play, you know exactly what the coaches should say. Come on down to the monsters of the Barroom. Bring your passion, bring your football IQ. Talk every play, prove your point, show the world what Bears fans do. Monsters of the Barroom. Snap, here we go! Bear their souls, bear their souls. Sports, movies, music, and food. Bear their souls, bear their souls. Sim Fitz, Danikin, just three guys being dudes. Danikin brings the facts off the mic, thinking fast, says it straight out the gate. Back you down, checkmate. Sim talking smack, walk it back, fact check. Hot takes, debates, got a strange music taste. Fitz, food reviews, Bears fan, five tools, real talk, all true, bleeding navy blue. Three guys, one mind, three mics, one night. Hot takes, high stakes, barroom debates. Danikin, Sim Fitz, bring the barroom blitz, let the beer tap flow. This is Bear Their Souls.
Right. We're back.
Hey,
We're back.
man.
It's time for Bear Their Souls. How is everybody doing? It has been an awesome summer so far. Lots of great things. Patrick Kane is back on the Blackhawks. Wow.
Patrick Kane
I'm
is
so
back.
excited.
Wow.
I mean, that would be some breaking news, would it not be? Fitz, Danikin, how you guys doing? Welcome back.
Doing
Man.
great.
It's good to be here, man. I'm happy. I'm excited for this rest. This season that is upon us right now. Like, man, we're just, you know what I mean. As Bears fans, going into this season feels different than any other season. You know what I mean, for a very, very long time. Even different than 2019. So I'm happy to be here, man. This, we're gonna have a good show. We're gonna have, people in the comment section having a good time. Seeing you guys, man, is always dope. So I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, definitely had a good break off. July was busy, and it's time for training camp. It's time to get back. It's I'm cautiously optimistic. I want to be over the top this year, but it's one day at a time. It's going to be I think it's going to be a fast season. I think January will be here before we know it.
You're America's favorite.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Oh, I'm way too big. What am I doing to myself here? Guys, I'm on the controls tonight. If you can't tell, we're mixing things up. We're changing things around a little bit. We're doing everything to the best of our abilities to bring you an awesome show. We got Aldo behind the scenes helping us out because Lord knows we can't do this on our own. We're just three guys being dudes here. And there's probably going to be beers flowing at some point or another from somebody. So We'll see how we'll see how it all goes. But hey, like Fitz said, it's training camp time. We're back to training camp, and unfortunately, I don't get to go this year. I wasn't able to secure tickets, and I know that I've had at least one person, the guy to my left here, reach out to me and see if I can come along. But unfortunately, it's not in the cards for me this year. But Fitz, I know you're planning on being there at least one day.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of expectations do you have this year? What do you want to see?
As far as training camp is, I just want to make sure we get through it healthy. It'd be fun to see the players up close. That's always fun. It's always, the Halas Hall experience is pretty neat. If you haven't done it, I know it's tough. I don't think they only give out like 1,000 tickets a day. But it's a fun time. I'm looking forward just to see everyone get through it healthy. So when they show up in Carolina on week 1, it's ready to go with the full squad.
Yeah.
I think it was Don Shula. His thing was always get ready for 60 minutes of football and stay healthy. So that's training camp for you.
Well, that's it. And it's something we've already seen with the Bears' first opponent with the Panthers. The Panthers have already suffered 2 pretty devastating injuries. I mean, potentially. One of them we know for sure with their linebacker. I don't remember the guy. I'm not a Panthers fan. I'm not going to act like I follow them that closely, but I saw they had a linebacker go down last week, and then their rookie wide receiver went down today. which is just brutal. And, it's the Bears' first day of practice. We've already seen some, disappointments on the injury front. But Danikin, you tell us about your expectations before we dive in too much on that.
Man, I mean, expectations have to be placed high, right? We made the playoffs, and made some headway with beating up on, a rival in the Green Bay Packers. So, you know what I mean? Expectations are high. They're out of this world right now. You want to taper them back, like Fitz said. You know what I mean? Try to kind of like get perspective. You know what I mean? And really say, okay, hey, every season is different. That's what Ben Johnson has been preaching, of course. But man, you can't help but have high expectations because we have such a talented roster. They're young, they're energetic, they want to win. And the Bears, the fan base, the media, everybody around Chicago is just hungry for a winner, right? Mm-hmm. Hungry for, building on top of the success that you had last season. So, expectations are through the roof right now, man. And I'm kind of feeding into that a little bit, right now. So
that's it. Chat room correctly points out that we've got some Kyler Gordon issues already, and injuries, staying healthy, it's a massive part of it. And now being the hunted, as you just pointed out, Danikin, like that's a big thing. And it's something they've already addressed, on both fronts in their press conferences that, they started yesterday as their sort of introduction to training camp, and then was sort of echoed today, both by the players and by Dennis Allen, who went before practice today. For anybody who missed that, I know yesterday a lot of people probably missed because Halas Hall was having some power issues, which with the heat across the Midwest right now, I don't think anybody has been spared from. But we do have some video from that, and we'll start off with talking about the targets on the Bears' backs.
Does your perspective change at this time of year when you go from being the hunter to the hunted in the division, and does that alter anything you do?
No, I think it's important to have the mindset that you're always hunting. And that's what we're going to do. I'm sure Coach will talk about our mentality as we move forward, but we're going to be hunting at all times.
Brand new group of guys. We're in a race right now to develop the same chemistry that we had a year ago. I thought that was one of the things that was our secret sauce, was guys playing for each other. We had a really close-knit group, and here it is. This is the time of year where you stay in a hotel or you go on the road for some joint practices like we'll do later on in camp, and we got to come together as a group. And there'll be some trials and tribulations. Coaching staff, we're going to apply pressure and stress on these guys. I think that's where the best version of yourself comes forward. And so, I don't think you talk about sustaining success. Well, shoot, we're starting all over again. That's been the consistent message.
Ryan talked about the hunter's mentality. How do you describe that to your players? What that requires?
Oh man, that's for team meetings. We keep that there. Yeah.
Classic Ben Johnson at the end there, man. He knows we all know, but he needs to let us know that we know, and that's what I love about it is he's not going to treat us like we're stupid as a fan base. He understands that we know what's at stake here, that we probably get it better than half the players in that room. And that's why it's so important for them to build that chemistry, to lean on one another the way the city leans on them. And I think it's something that's felt. And I think that's something that's, a cultural thing in Halas Hall, along with having those targets on your back, along with, having that fuel. It's incredible. We have this brand new, awesome little layout and option here with the Barfly chat room, by the way. If you guys want to participate as part of the show, put your comments in the chat. We react to them live all show long. Just throw them out there. We can read them as we go. We'll throw them on screen time to time. And we'll even have moments like this where we'll talk right alongside you guys. But I'll let you and Fitz and Danikin give your 2 cents on those little bits that we just heard.
I love hearing trials. Go ahead, Danikin.
No. I said I'll let you go first.
Oh, okay. I love hearing trials and tribulations. That just kind of takes me back. It just Ben is Ben, and he's not changing. And he's saying the same things that he said from the last day of the season last year. Like, it's going to be a new season, new players. We got to get new chemistry, and he's as consistent as they come, and I love it. And I'm just ready for more press conferences.
Yeah. It's a big difference between what we've seen in the past from like some of Chicago's coaches, right? The coaching staffs, and where we termed it word salad, that they would just give you just words, just a bunch of stuff out there, and it really couldn't really make sense of it. And it's a whole different ball game when it comes to Ben Johnson. He's really setting the tone for what he wants to accomplish, what he wants his coaching staff to be about, how he wants his team to perform, right? So, like I said, it's a breath of fresh air in so many different ways, and that's what adds to the excitement that the Bears fan base is really, really looking at right now. When you got a coach that's out there and he's preaching these things, but he's consistent on it. And what happened last year doesn't matter this year. What happens this year is all that matters, right? What have you done for me lately? That's the term that a lot of people can see. So it is what it is, man.
I'm on mute. I was about to say something and I realized I was on mute. At least I caught it before I started talking this year. Evolution, guys, evolution.
That's it.
But yeah, I mean, it all goes back to, I mean, to me, this is sort of echoing 2019 in a way, in the sense that the Bears have to respond to an unexpected season last year, and a lot of people expect them to fizzle out. And it's all going to be about how they respond at this time of year. Not bringing in 9 different players to solve one problem when clearly you had more than one problem. And the Bears seem like they're taking that seriously. They seem like they understand who they are. And, understanding who they are goes a long way, because that's something they didn't have in 2019, right? That's the difference between this team and this coach, is the identity behind it all. They know why they didn't win. They have the whys. Now it's time to get the guys to solve the whys, So continuing off of it a little bit, injuries, unavoidable part. They had a lot of guys come out. I didn't manage to get a graphic put together for this one. I'm looking to see if I have anything here, but I don't think so. But we do have a little Kyler Gordon overlay here. Kyler Gordon is, of course, the big issue with the injuries right now. Montez Sweat has already been activated off of the non-football injury or non-football illness list, for anybody who didn't catch that. In addition to that, we also had, I apologize, I had this pulled up and I was not ready. But we had a handful of other guys. I know we had Keyshawn Elliott, TJ Edwards, both expected to be out, but not for long. Lots of frustration surrounding Kyler Gordon. And the 3 guys that we kind of expected to be out long-term with injury, in Ozzie Trapillo, Shamar Turner, and Noah Sewell. So not a whole lot of anything from anybody other than Kyler Gordon. And that's, I think, what brings a lot of this highlight to him, is the fact that this defense is such a different animal with him on the field. And for him to go from missing 14 games last season to now missing the start of training camp with this seemingly ghost injury that he's got, it's a little frustrating, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it reminds me of, I guess we kind of knew what Jalen Johnson had going into training camp last year, but I don't think any of us knew he was going to miss the whole season, and or for most of the season. And Kyler's kind of, there was so much expectations from him going into training camp, and for him to not be ready right now, and for them to say there's no timetable on him coming back, that to me just goes, okay. Yeah. So, I mean, what do we got? 6 weeks until the season opens, 7 weeks, and there's no timetable. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the MO, man. It's not MO, but that's what we've seen from a lot of the Bears secondary, right? And we want to get out of that situation, whatever the case may be, this year. Kyler Gordon is one of those guys where it's like, I have the feeling that he's always going to get hurt sometime, somewhere, right? And when he's on the field, he's performing and he does well, and he changes the dynamic of the defense, right? But at the same time, man, we always talk about it. Availability is your best ability, right? If you're not able to be on the football field, you throw the whole everything off. You know what I mean? And you're of no use to the team in many ways. So, you hope somehow, some way, it comes together and he kind of gets the ball rolling faster than what it took last year, because he's missed quite a few games, man. Like that graphic that you put up indicates. But man, we just gotta figure out what it is. The good thing about it, right, is that we have guys that are in the secondary now, like a Malik Muhammad and things like that a lot of guys are looking at and saying, hey, he was nice in college. He did his thing in college. Maybe he can transition and really build upon that and be something for the Bears here in the future. So, when you're in Kyler Gordon's position, let's just be real about it, right? Yeah, he's a good player. He's really good. But when you can't get on the field, somebody else has an opportunity to take your job. You know what I mean? And if a guy steps up and he does his thing, then, you know what I mean, that's what we want to see, right? So depth is always good to have on the roster. I think the Bears are, they've made themselves deeper. They've gotten faster at several different positions. So it's all going to bode well in that regard. Do you miss Kyler Gordon? Do you miss him during training camp? Do you miss him during the preseason possibly? Absolutely. And you know what I mean? The dude is a good player and he fits what they want to do on defense. But at the same time, hey, it's an opportunity for one of the younger guys. And if they step up, it's sad to say, but we'll forget Kyler Gordon. You know what I mean? If a guy steps up and is able to play well,
Yeah, it's frustrating. He seems like one of those guys who is always dependable, and then he wasn't dependable. But at the same time, you just know that if you cut him or trade him or whatever, he's going to go be successful somewhere else. So it's like, do you have the patience and keep his contract while you wait through all this, or do you make the business decision? And we're, months away from any kind of decision like that. This guy could be ready by the beginning of the season, and this is a total non-issue at that point.
Absolutely.
But it is frustrating, and I think it's rightfully frustrating. And I think that Kyler and his general manager and his head coach have all expressed that as well. So I completely understand it all. And something that I brought up while I was in the chat room of Hogan John's, not this last show, but their last live show they did, was drawing a comparison to Kyle Fuller with all this. And they chatted about it a little bit, because I think it is actually a good comparison to draw at this point, because it's a guy who's facing injuries. It's a guy who's kind of fell out of love with the coaching staff, with the regime change and everything. And you wonder, like, if he can make that change both on the field and off the field to earn their trust, to earn their respect, to earn those snaps, and to get back into a successful position that he was in early in his career. Because he earned that extension. He was not given that extension. He earned that thing. And that's something that in conversations like this is often forgotten. And it's frustrating because, again, it's a what have you done lately for me league. And lately he's been on the IR. So it's frustrating. I think we're all there with it. I've said that term over and over and over again. But it's a next man up mentality. And part of that next man up mentality, I think they talked about a little bit more with talking about defensive line and some of the position battles and where we've got some depth on this team. So I've got another little clip here that Aldo pulled for us that I'm going to pull up.
And what did you see from him in the spring?
Yeah, Dow did a great job with his return to play. I think it's always good if you can get one of the guys that was injured in the season to be in that vet minicamp, at least, where they can start. I think the part that we don't talk about enough is just gaining your confidence back as a football player. There's some balance of body control things when it starts moving, where it's more reactive than proactive. So he was able to get that phase in and then add another 5-6 weeks of training. So it's really positive. Obviously, we'll keep on him as we go, but really encouraged by not only his work that he put into it, but our staff pouring into him to get him right.
We've talked to you about the pass rush all off season. How important is Dio's development during camp for you in whether you weigh, can you add, should you add?
Yeah, I think really the development of all those guys is going to be really important. Sweat, I'd like to see him continue to improve and take what he did last year and add to that. We don't talk about Booker. Like, last offseason he was coming on strong before he had a little bit of an injury there that kind of set him back, but he was able to kind of help us down the stretch. So he's another guy we're taking an eye on. So I don't think it's different than any part of the roster. We're going to evaluate and see how they do. And then if we got to make adjustments or obviously investigate where we can get better, we'll do that.
That's not a decision you plan on making anytime in the next couple of weeks. That's more of it toward the end of camp.
Yeah, I've told you all for the last 4 or 5 years, we're going to investigate any opportunities to get better. But at the end of the day, we got to make sure we know our team. So we evaluate on a daily basis and see what we need to do.
With the few veterans that are out there on the end, how do you decide whether that's a fit, not only for you, but for them too? I imagine that some of these names are household names that might not be comfortable with a smaller role. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we can cross that bridge if we ever needed to go across it. But we're looking for competition, guys to come in and compete and really fall into the role to help us win football games.
We are the bearer of Bears News, the Barroom Network.
Yeah, so at the beginning of that, they're talking about Dio Dangbo, a guy who was injured last year and is not on this PUP list, is not missing any time at all, it seems, right now. And that's, I mean, a huge move for this roster, especially considering what he did in the first half of last year in taking pressure off of some of the other guys opposite him. And in addition to what Austin Booker can do and what we're all expecting from him this season. And again, more to the point that I was making before as well, is that there's depth on this roster. And I think that they appreciate that and they believe in that. And I don't know, I'm not as worried about certain positions as I think a lot of other people are, even with this current injury news and everything. And I don't know. I'm babbling. I'll let you guys take it away a little bit because like I could talk at length out of my ass and I want to hear something of substance.
I just want to see this defense at full strength. I mean, this is last year they weren't. I don't think one game. So I just want to see what they're capable of at full strength. That's the disappointing thing about Kyler Gordon is he going to be ready week one? Are we going to have to just fill in with next man up's great, but you want to see the team at full strength. I'm with you, Zim. I'm not as worried about some positions as some people are. I really think the pass rush, if it's full strength, is going to be much improved over last year with Austin Booker taking another step and motivated Dio up there. But yeah, I want to see what they're capable of right now.
Yeah, I totally get it. Like it's hard because we are projecting a lot with a lot of it, but at the same time, like you have nothing else to go off of with some of it. Austin Booker hasn't put together that full season. Dio was signed as kind of what they expected from him more than what he'd already done. And yeah, I totally get where you're coming from with that.
Yeah. The Bears, Dio, you know what I mean? We really didn't get the chance to see really what he's capable of doing, in my opinion, right? The jury's still out. You know what I mean? Yeah, the guy came in, he started off the season pretty decent last year, to be honest.
Yeah, week one was awesome.
Yeah, he started off pretty decent. He showed some flashes of something that he might, the Bears might be able to utilize in that pass rush. Of course, you got Austin Booker. You got, several different situations. That's why I'm not really, exactly. And that's why I'm not really terribly, up in arms about any type of injuries or lack of signing people along the defensive line and things like that. Because I feel like we do have some good players. And I think that, some of those players will shine. You deal with injuries, you go through that stuff. As long as you're not injury prone, then that's what I look at, right? If you're prone to injury, meaning you are injured more, a la Joel Embiid, who's played roughly 50% of his career. You know what I mean?
Right.
Things like that. That's, he's a great player, but at the same time, you know what I mean? If you're not on the court or on the football field, then that's where we had a problem. So, just looking at that situation, Dio, I think we'll be able to see some good things from him. And being that he's kind of like a rotational pass rusher at this point in time, you might see the Bears utilize him in really good ways, a la Mark Anderson way back in the day, right? Remember when he was really good, came in and he could rotate in there and get a pass rush, get some sacks, get some pressures and things like that. That's what it's about. You know what I mean? And a lot of fans, I caution people, don't fall in love with just the stats. Oh, is he a 10-sack guy? Is he a 10-sack guy? Look at the pressures. Look at what he's able to do, because you're not always going to get to the quarterback, right? There's a lot of mobile quarterbacks in this league. The idea when you're a pass rusher is to speed that process up for him, right? Make him throw the ball before he really wants to. Put the ball in harm's way, things like that. So pressures go a long way to doing that, because a lot of guys will be able to get rid of the ball before you can actually get to him, right? You got to have a little bit of luck to get to the quarterback sometimes, right? And get a sack. So, you know, always caution people to pay attention to that, kind of look for that.
Well, and they play in a division with 3 guys that don't do very good things when you speed them up.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll get to that too.
Yeah, we will definitely get to that. Before we get too deep on that part of it, though, I did want to touch on some of the camp battles that we can look forward to this year as sort of a wrap up to training camp here. I've got 4 myself that I'm looking at. And I'd love to know y'all's thoughts on this one. The first one and most obvious one for everybody is the left tackle position. You know, we got Braxton Jones, who was a former Bears starter, opening day starter for, I think, 3 years straight. Reliable when he was healthy, and then he got hurt and came back from injury last year, played 4 games before being benched in week 5 because, I mean, he just wasn't right. In these pressers that we've had the last couple of days, you know, they've sung his praises. He's been the first name out of both the coach and GM's mouth, talking about, you know, how healthy he is, how much better he looks. And, you know, obviously they thought highly of him. They gave him a $5 million guaranteed $10 million contract. And there we have it on screen, you know, 23 games missed over the last 3 seasons, though, with those injuries. So, I mean, again, it seems like he's the guy moving forward, but what do you guys think? Like, do you think he's actually going to win this thing? Do you think he's the day 1 starter? Do you think that, you know, a Kiran Amagaji, who, by the way, was taking second team snaps today, or a Jedrick Wills, who was taking 3rd string snaps today, or the Canadian Eagle, Theo Benedette, who was being praised for his offseason transformation, you know, do you think he could be the dark horse to come out and win this thing? It's a question that I know none of us have the answers to, and we've already talked a little bit about before we took our hiatus. But what are you guys thinking now that we've taken a little bit of break? We've heard what coaches and GMs have to say.
You know, when I look at what the coaches and GMs have to say right now, I take it with a grain of salt. And what I mean by that is, like, a lot of guys are going to get praise, you know what I mean? Because, hey, they're in shorts and T-shirts right now. Let's be real. Everybody looks good in that, right, on the football field. So when they're in shorts and T-shirts, not everybody. I don't
know if the 3 of us would, but
no, not everybody. But you know what I'm saying. Like T.O. said it, right? Everybody look good in shorts and T-shirts, but it's what you do on the field, right? So, you know, that's my mentality on it. And I feel like sometimes what those coaches are doing is giving them a little bit of praise. Like, they're going to talk about Theo Benedict and his transformation. They're going to talk about Braxton Jones and how healthy he is, because it gives them some confidence in themselves, right? And then that's when you start creating the competition, right, for the position and things like that. So you'll talk these guys up so that they'll feel confident enough to go out there and really perform and things like that. So that's where it is. I just want to see the competitive juices flowing, and at some point somebody will take a stranglehold on it, hopefully. And it's not a situation where we're, you know, 3 games into the preseason still questioning what's going on here, you know.
Yeah, I hope there's at least a definitive answer after training camp. You can never have too many linemen. So you got 4 in it right now, with Ozzie Trapello looming halfway through the season, possibly. So bring as many in as you want. You can never have too many. I would love to see Braxton Jones win it, like, just if he's the guy who wins it, I think the Bears could be in the best shape with him winning it come opening day. I hope it's not a matter of like winning it by just being the only healthy one going into opening day. But like all four guys are healthy. They're battling it out all 5-6 weeks, and Braxton comes out on top. I think that puts the Bears in the best position.
The question I have is, who do you think has the upper hand right now? Like, because to me, Braxton Jones, I feel like has the upper hand just because he's the more accomplished one, right? He's the more accomplished of all of them. He's the more experienced one. He's actually, like you said, played, all of his rookie games, started as a rookie. And he does have some talent, right? We always talked about, maybe his strength or maybe his lack of, a backside to kind of get pushed around a little bit. But at the end of the day, he's very athletic, what I mean, for his size and for his, for his position. He's a very athletic guy. So, there is talent there. It's what can you draw out of it? Can he get that mean streak? That's something that you have to have as an offensive tackle, especially a left tackle. You got to have a mean streak. Guards, you got to be nasty. You know what I mean? And I've always said that I don't think he was nasty enough, right? To really be that. He just grew big and he's got a body and he's got athleticism to play the position. But does he have that nasty, that mean streak to play, as a top-notch guy? That's the question.
I wonder if being in the same building as a guy like Dennis Allen can help you get that nasty though too. Not that he's even the same kind of coach. He's defense and Braxton plays offense, obviously. But, there's a certain mentality in a guy like Dennis Allen that he feeds into his defense. He's always had physical, nasty defenses. So it makes you wonder if, again, you can use that to pump something into Braxton Jones. And the fact that he's got to go up against, a rotation of Dio Odangbo, Montez Sweat, and Austin Booker, 3 very good, 2 very, very good. Obviously none of these guys are elite, unfortunately. But he gets to go up against 3 starters on any team in the league every single day, every single rep. And that's going to sharpen you in ways too. So I don't know. I'm very curious to see how that one plays out. I do think that there's an opportunity for other guys to win this job, but I think that it's Braxton's to lose at this point. With his familiarity with the team, with his familiarity with the coaches, with his familiarity with just everything around the organization.
How less familiar is Theo Benedict, though? He's been with these guys. This is his 3rd year now, isn't it?
Yeah, 1 year less. Yeah.
But same amount of time with these guys.
2 years less. This will be Braxton's 5th year. So
this is 5th year. Yeah. It is. Well, I mean, he's familiar with him too, but you know what I mean. Still not as accomplished, right? That's my thing. He's just not as accomplished. For whatever reason, he didn't get on the field like Braxton Jones did at some point. Here's another thing that you can throw out there. Ben Johnson is a, you might say a key piece to this situation. What I mean by that is that, you look back to when the Bears were, on Hard Knocks, right? And everybody was like, oh, don't fight in camp. And, everybody was soft, no cursing, watch your language. That's football, man. Cursing on the football field, that happens all the time. Guys getting in camp fights. I mean, the Bengals had a camp fight already, right? And it's like, okay,
that's a good thing.
I mean, I think it's always good when you have camp fights, man. I really do. I don't think it's ever a bad thing unless guys are legitimately getting hurt. Like, I think somebody got their helmet ripped off or something like that, and you don't want to see that type of stuff. But a little bit of pushing and shoving, some guys throwing some hands a little bit, man. That's competition, right? Nobody wants to get showed up on the football field. And when you have young guys that are going out there, that's their job. They want to make an impact. They want to show up. They want to draw some attention to themselves. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. But Ben Johnson, what I mean by that is like Ben Johnson changed the dynamic of how the Bears practiced, right? He infused a lot of competition. He infused violence, you might say, into the Bears locker room, and maybe that goes with Braxton Jones. We were talking about his mentality, and does he have that nasty streak? Maybe Ben Johnson is a piece to that, right? To get him motivated in the right direction when it comes to that. You never know.
Yeah, lots to consider at that left tackle, man. I mean, I think we're all pretty much in agreement that it's going to be Braxton's job to lose at the very least, but it'll be interesting to see what happens, when they actually put the pads on and those hits start popping for sure. Also on the offensive line, it seems like we might actually have some competition at center. I know that it sounded initially like they wanted to go with Bradbury kind of no matter what, but it sounds like they're open to letting Logan Jones convince them. Do you guys think there's anything to that, or you think it's just pumping up the rookie?
There's something to it, but it is pumping up the rookie. You want to do that because I think he's their center of the future right now.
Yeah.
So the closer he can get to providing some, authentic competition right now, it's going to help them both. It's going to help the offense. It's going to help the two of them individually. So yeah, pump him up. Yeah, there's something to it. I think he's talented, and I think he's their center of the future right now.
Yeah, I think it once again, this is a situation. I mentioned it before, like with the other positions. You talk these guys up because it builds their confidence. But if you're, if you're Logan, yeah, hey, they're talking good about me. Let me go out here and prove it, right? But then the other guy, the guy who's there and he was signed to be the starting center, you're looking at it like, hold on, this is young guy is not about to come take my spot, right? So you're doing two things at once. Yeah, you're pumping one guy up, but you're also putting this other guy on notice that, hey, do what you're supposed to do, or you could lose your job. And I'm sure that he doesn't want to do that. So he'll go out there and try his best at performance as well. So it'll pump, but it's pumping both of them up, to be honest with you.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I see it both ways. I'm going to be pulling for Logan Jones. He went to high school just up the street from where I'm at now. So, I got to pull for the local kid, but at the same time, Garrett Bradbury, he's coming off a Super Bowl appearance. He's an established center in this league. He knows what's going on. So I don't think there's really a whole lot to question there. No. Next up, I've got the tight end position, and somebody I wanted to highlight in this tight end battle, Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet, man, complete tight end, dominant run blocker, reliable hands. He makes the guys around him better, and he's just built for this Ben Johnson offense, And I think he gets overlooked a lot with the fact that they drafted a tight end, and with the fact that Colston Loveland, is just frankly that dude. But, that's not Cole Kmet's fault, and it doesn't mean that Cole Kmet's not going to get attention in this offense. Something that we've seen already so far with all this is that, even just today, Caleb and Cole have a connection. They do. It's objectively there. So I don't know that it's really as big a deal as a lot of people want to make it out to be. And I kind of just wanted to highlight it because I want to remind everybody that, again, Cole Kmet is on this team. He's getting paid to be a top pass catcher on this team. And I think there's a legitimate chance he's got a C on his chest when September rolls around.
That's interesting. I don't know if he'll have a C on his chest. It's a possibility.
I'm not
anything
saying
is
he
possible.
will.
He's
I
the
think
longest
there's a
tenured,
chance.
right? Yeah. So for his tenure, a lot of guys might have a lot of respect for him and what he's done in the locker room. But not only that, but how he stays involved. Yeah, he could have threw his arms up and been a baby about it when they drafted, Colston Loveland, in the first round. But he didn't do it. He accepted it and
he didn't throw his hands up at all, man. Like, that's what makes him special to me is you're exactly right. He could have just said, fuck this, they're replacing me. And instead he said, hell yeah, I got a brother to run this shit with.
Exactly. And that's the big thing. Like in the league nowadays, you talk about 12 package, you talk about 13 package now, right? So, you know what I mean? Guys are utilizing two tight ends. Teams are utilizing two tight ends. It's not just this is the guy and this is the backup. Guys are going out there and they're having 2, 3 tight ends on the football field at one time. and it's creating matchup nightmares for other teams, right? And that's the thing. Cole Kmet is a matchup nightmare because if you throw Colston Loveland out there, you got to have somebody that's speedy to keep up with him. So you throw somebody else on Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet's 6'7", 260, 70 pounds or whatever. And he's gonna physically impose his will on somebody, right? You could throw the ball up to him. He's a huge target. These are all things that create matchup nightmares, and I've always said it, like attack every area of the football field. Make a defense think. That's the last thing they want to do. Defense just wants to read and react. Go see football, go get football, see player with football, go get them. You know what I mean? But when you have to think about, oh, this guy over here, oh, this guy over here, what's coming out of the backfield? We got wide receivers galore that are running downfield. Now you're thinking too much and you're not able to react as fast. So, you know what I mean? Throw them guys on the football field. I love having them both. A lot of people were always, as soon as Colston Loveland got picked up, it was like, oh, we can trade Cole Kmet. I'm like, for what? Like, the more weapons you have, the better. Like, why would we get rid of a guy that's young in his prime and he's really good? You know what I mean? Why get rid of him? For what reason? So
that's Mr. Danikin, never known for panicking. He's one of the three kings. Wisdom is what he brings. That's Mr. Danikin.
I got the loop turned on. My bad, guys. Oh no, drop it, man. I love it. Like, you want my hot take after listening to Danikin pump up this tight end room. You want my hot take for the episode? I bet you we see at least 10 snaps this season from 14 personnel.
Wow.
4 tight ends on the field.
Wow.
Whatever works.
Throw them out there, man. Hey, we got them. Put them out there.
Couldn't you kind of see it though? Like, imagine like even set, 2 on each side of the line, or even, a heavy set with 3 on one side and 1 on the other. And then they rolled a sweep to Swift just behind these 3 massive humans blocking for him. Like,
what this kind of reminds me of? This hype around like all these ways to use tight ends. And I'm going to go back in my day here, but when William Perry emerged in '85 and Ditka wanted to, he was a blocker, then he was a runner, then he was a pass catcher, and then he tried to throw a pass in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We've already seen Cole Kmet throw a pass, man. Like, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I think Ben is in there right now, working overtime. He's up at 3 a.m. trying to see how many tight ends he can get on the field.
That's it.
Right,
Well, I mean, if they carry 5, I could see all 5 getting on the field at once, right?
Oh,
you put Caleb split out wide. You put 3 tight ends on one side of the line. You put a 4th tight end in the backfield, and you put Cole Kmet under center.
Yeah. You know what? Well, you know what's crazy?
I've got the mindset, man.
15 personnel.
I was thinking about it too. 15 personnel. I was thinking about it though, like with the tight ends, because even in the draft, we drafted a tight end, right? And it's like, okay, why did we draft the tight end? Well, we got Colston Loveland, we got Cole Kmet, and I'm thinking to myself, like, Ben Johnson is speaking to us. He's speaking to Caleb Williams, in fact. And one of the things that I was critical of Caleb Williams was, if I'm just being honest, in the first year, he hardly utilized the tight end at all, right? And Ben Johnson comes in, you draft Colston Loveland, you draft another tight end this year, you keep Cole Kmet, which everybody thought he was out the door. And then I'm thinking to myself, he's telling Caleb Williams, no, you're going to throw the ball to a tight end. Like you're going to utilize these tight ends because that's what I like to do. When you utilize the tight end, you utilize the running game. It you know what I mean? It's football, man. It's old school football a little bit, but it's also new age because we have tight ends that are, like Colston Loveland. I like to say, he's similar to Jason not Jason, but Travis Kelce. I always said Travis Kelce. He wasn't a flat out burner. I think Colston Loveland is faster than him, but for a tight end, he had the most wiggle. Like it was hard to grab him. He could get out of stuff. He could shake out of it. And that's what Colston Loveland has as well. He's not only a big body like Travis Kelce is, but he has the wiggle. He has the flexibility. You know what I mean? He can duck down. He can do so many different things on the football field. And, like I said, I mean, I think Ben Johnson is speaking not only to his team, his quarterback, but, he can also be speaking to the fan base like, hey, we're going to utilize tight ends. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, he's like those when they made action figures with swivel hips. It's as opposed to just one piece. They they made the GI Joes with a swivel hip on it. That's kind of what he reminds me of.
Exactly.
Love it. All right. Well, hey, our last camp battle, we've kind of already touched on it, but the cornerback position, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both outside and inside, I think there's spots up for grabs. I mean, I guess it's a matter of does Tyreek Stevenson, to echo
Motivated
back to the Kyle
Tyreek.
Fuller, that's right. To go back to the Kyle Fuller conversation, does he finally earn favor with the coaching staff and secure that spot? And, at the slot position, do we see Malik Muhammad? Do we see Cam Lewis take those positions? Elijah Hicks is also injured, but is he a guy we potentially see in that spot,
Mm-hmm.
I
Good
think
question.
Yeah, I think it's there for what at this point in Tyreek's career is he kind of is what he is already.
Yeah, but what he is insanely good when he's on.
When was the
And
last time he was on though?
Early last season.
He was on early last season. He had back-to-back games where he allowed a perfect passer rating, followed by back-to-back games where he allowed a passer rating of like less than 20. Like,
did you remember the strip that he had that where he just ran and took the ball out
against the Cowboys?
Was that the Cowboys game?
Yeah. Did you see that? Yeah. You can't.
A lot of people
forget.
credit that as the moment the season turned around for the Bears.
Yeah.
Granted, they were all of 0-2 at that point, but the kid plays with heart. The problem is when you wear your heart on your sleeve like that, you get the highest highs and the lowest lows. And I think we've seen all of that from the guy.
Yeah.
I keep seeing in the chat too. You know what I mean? You guys are saying he needs to grow up. He needs to show maturity. I'm challenging somebody to tell me where he was immature last year. Are we talking about Washington from 2 years ago? Because if that's the case, what he did last year, he didn't show immaturity, did he? I mean, am I wrong or
No.
am I missing something?
No, did he even play against the Rams
last year?
Yeah,
I've blocked that game out of my mind.
Well, I'm just saying he had like minimal snaps. He was not on the field hardly at all. And when he was asked about it, he's like, I go in when they tell me to go in. I'm here to play when they tell me to play. I'm ready to play. And he was very mature about that afterwards. I mean,
yeah. And I mean, maybe it's something that we don't know. Maybe he is showing immaturity in the film room or on the practice field or whatever. And that could be the case. But I'm just saying, if we as fans are we holding his feet to the flames for something that happened 2 years ago? If that is the case, we have to move on, people. Like we have to move on. Like I was a critic of Caleb Williams and him only throwing to wide receivers, but he's developed a rapport with tight ends and he started utilizing them last year. So I've moved off of that. You know what I mean? So if we're still upset about Washington, people, like we got to let that go. It's 2 years ago. We didn't even have Ben Johnson at that time. And quite frankly, I blame the coaching staff more so than the player in that situation, because any of those coaches could have called a timeout. The eye in the sky could have called a timeout. There's so much that could have happened before that play took place to where you could have got him off the field. But Eberflus was oblivious to so much that was going on that he didn't pay attention to it, and neither did his coaching staff.
He didn't like calling timeouts.
Those tight ends, each of those timeouts that he saved from that season got him an extra $100,000 down in Dallas. So there was a reason he was holding on to those. He knew it. It was a clause in his contract,
Exactly.
Every timeout you don't take, we'll give you an extra $1 million at the end of the season not to coach us. All right, thank you.
Yeah. Right. Enough talk about Eberflus. That's it.
No, you guys don't want to keep talking about Matt Eberflus here in 2026.
Oh, you've got talent, you've got charisma, and you got balls.
All right. Well, hey, last little bit of our football segment here on the show tonight. I want to introduce a little bit of a new segment if I can find it here. There it is. This is a new segment that we're calling the Rival Report. Give me just a moment to get it pulled up. But this Rival Report is basically just a quick touch-in on what the hell the rest of the division's doing, right? So our Rival recap, Micah Parsons on the PUP list. Looks like he's going to remain on the PUP list to start the season and miss the first 6 games of the year. That means he misses the first Bears game of the year. It's just kind of a big deal, especially when you've lost a lot of other key players on that defense, and they weren't very good to begin with. So, and also they lost in historic fashion, particularly on the defensive side, although shitting your pants and pissing down your leg in the red zone with 28 seconds left in the game is also to blame on that one. Anyway, sorry, I keep being told that Jordan Love is elite and every metric points the other direction. Aside from EPA. Anyway, I look.
But while all this is going on, you're searching through your mind for something graceful and diplomatic you can say to bring the conversation to a close. And all I can ever come up with is, shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
Oh, you know, I try, and I've got no patience, and I need to remind myself to shut the fuck up once in a while. So,
oh my God, Aldo.
Steam room.
We've got Jahmyr Gibbs up in Detroit, not playing. It seems like he's holding in for a new contract. You know, as a side note to that, Bijan Robinson doing the same. 2 guys who basically hold their team's offenses by the balls right now. Now, something that I think is worth mentioning in this Jahmyr Gibbs conversation is the Lions signed Isaiah Pacheco in the offseason, who is an excellent handcuff and replacement for David Montgomery, who's now down in Houston. But Jahmyr Gibbs and Isaiah Pacheco, kind of a nasty running back duo, if I say so myself, and I hate that. I absolutely hate that. I hope that Jahmyr Gibbs continues to hold out and eventually gets traded to the Rams or something.
No, trade him out of the conference, man.
I was going to say
AFC, yeah.
Let's trade him to Baltimore. Trade him to the Broncos. How about that?
Yeah.
I like that one. The Broncos have the cap space. They need a running back. I could go for that one.
Exactly.
Jamal Adams signs with the Vikings as a linebacker. Seems like his days of playing safety are over. He's more of a weak side backer, a gap blitz backer. And in addition to that, the Vikings have also signed their right tackle, Dick Packer. I don't know his name. Brian O'Neill. There you go. To a 4-year, $96 million extension. Look, Dick Packer's about, the whitest name I could come up with that wasn't Brian O'Neill. So I gave it my best shot on that one. Regardless, those are kind of the highlights from around the division. The main point with all of this being, how anemic is the Packers defense and Lions offense without their 2 key players? And in addition to that, what does this Brian O'Neill contract mean for a guy like Darnell Wright, who is objectively better in every single way and younger, and seeking a new contract?
The right place at the right time with yeah, as far as that goes, but the Packers, I'm going back to listening to all the Packers fans. Like the first day that people reported, he wasn't on the list. Parsons wasn't on the list, and there was like joy in Titletown, and everyone was excited. And then when it actually began, he was on it, and so that gave me a little bit of a just nice to see Packer tears this early in the season before the season even started. But in Minnesota, the quarterback situation is still intriguing. Like
it's not intriguing. If you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, I guess it's because I'm laughing at it. That's all. Because it's the Vikings.
It's also. I mean, it reminds me so much of when the Bears drafted Trubisky and then went out and got Nick Foles. Like, is this not exactly the same situation?
Wasn't it? Not Foles. It was Glennon, yeah. They signed Glennon to the big deal and drafted Trubisky. Yeah, nobody knew what was going on there. But yeah, they were supposed to have that locked up with McCarthy, and then they can bring in Kyler this year for a 1-year deal, and I don't know. I'm just having a good time watching it.
They had their fans fucking locked up like Silence of the Lambs with JJ McCarthy. That's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I look at this rival, the rivals that we have here, Micah Parsons in Green Bay. Hey man, I wasn't afraid of him going to Green Bay. One guy is not going to change the dynamic in that for that team. Just in my opinion, it just wasn't going to happen, right? I think Micah Parsons is a great player. He's a really, really good player, but there are some deficiencies in this game. And it's hidden a lot because he's so good at what he does, which is pass rush. But he's terrible against the run. He's not really good against the run. He's light in the butt. You know what I'm saying? So he gets pushed around a little bit down there. So if you can get your hands on him,
is not the Myles Garrett move,
right?
Which
it's not Khalil Mack. No,
you will never get that through to anybody up north. This is not Reggie White. This is not Khalil Mack. This is not Myles Garrett. This is. You know who it is? It's Montez Sweat. Like, that's what it is.
Ooh. Now we're being disrespectful. No.
Yeah. I think he's better than Montez Sweat.
I think he's
sorry. Why don't you tell me?
I don't think he impacts it like that. He doesn't impact the entire team like the way.
We will revisit this in week 6 and see who has been better for their team through the beginning of the season, Micah Parsons or Montez Sweat.
Here's the thing, Micah. Yeah, and that's a good thing to look for, right? Micah Parsons is a really good player. He's a really good player, but he just doesn't impact the entire team. Khalil Mack, when he came over, the entire dynamic of the entire defense was changed, right? Yeah, everybody played better. Micah Parsons doesn't do that. He didn't do it in Dallas. He's an outstanding individual player.
He didn't do it at Penn.
He didn't do it. Yeah, exactly. So he doesn't change the dynamic.
Jaquan Brisker was more of a playmaker at Penn than Micah Parsons. I mean,
exactly.
We talked about it earlier with the Bears offensive line. By the way, we've got a poll down here in the corner. You can type 1 or 2 in chat to answer that, and it'll show up right here on screen. There you go. Looks like we got a yes already. And will Micah Parsons 100%. Play like a Girl Scout in 2026?
100%.
At any rate, we talked about this earlier, talking about the Bears offensive line. Where's the nasty? Where's the nasty, man? I don't ever want to see my star player, the guy that we have thrown the bag at, going on the NFL 100 and saying a nice thing about the Packers. And that is
just
exactly
nice.
Oh my God. He had like a glowing endorsement of Caleb Williams. Like he was like he wanted to be a Bear more than he wanted to be a Packer. Yeah. And it's like, how could you? Like, oh man. And then he tries to save it at the end. And where there's ice, there's fire, and I'm the fire. Bro, oh God. That was the most robotic, stupid thing I've heard you say in a long time, man. Because I mean, Mike is usually very charismatic, very outgoing, but again, he doesn't have that nasty when he's off the field, and it makes you wonder what he's like on the field.
He's got the nasty when it comes to like getting on social media and arguing with fans. He's got the nasty when it comes to that, but it's a different age, bro. Like what we, what I mean. A lot of us grew up, watching, rivalries, and those rivalries, not extended, not only from the fans' perspective, but there were rivals. Teams legitimately did not like each other. Players didn't like each other. Yeah, I remember when Brandon Marshall was here and he called Detroit the little brother. You know what I mean? And people in Detroit were offended by that. But Brandon Johnson really believed that. He's like, this is Detroit. They're a little brother. We don't worry about that. You know what I mean? We don't even feel like fighting you today. You know what I mean? Or whatever. So those are the things that we grew up seeing. And it's hard sometimes when you have this new age of NFL players and just pro sports in general, where they're genuinely friendly with one another. And it's because they've been playing since little kids, you know what I mean? And they've been playing with each other. So those friendships kind of extend somewhat deeper, you might say. They run deeper than they used to. But I'd love to get back to, real rivalries and players and teams really at each other's throats. I like that. I think it's good for the game of football. So I like it. One thing I did want to say about Jahmyr Gibbs too, like that whole situation is, I hope it drags on as long as it possibly can. You know what I mean? Drag on and be frustrating. But it's what comes with having an elite running back in this league. Their lifespan is so short, man. So those teams, him and Atlanta with Bijan Robinson, they're not willing to just give a 5-year contract so quickly now. You know what I mean? Because guys, they just get hurt at the running back position too often. You know what I mean? Or they wear out. You know what I mean? You got a certain amount of carries, and when you get to that threshold of carries, it's a dramatic drop off. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I hope it drags out as long as possible, though.
Yeah, and the players themselves, the running back, Jahmyr Gibbs wants to make his money while he can.
Absolutely.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you see, he's got to try to. He knows that the front office is thinking exactly what Danikin just said. So he's trying to get his money before those carries amount too high.
And I said it. I keep saying it too. It's not stupid if you have a running back in the first round that is really elite, Bijan Robinson, so on and so forth. Draft him because you have him for 5 years possibly. You can franchise tag him, and you could transitional tag him if you want to. You could potentially have that guy playing on a rookie deal for 6 or 7 years. The NFL Players Association is at fault there because they allowed teams to get away with that, owners to get away with that, and now they're paying the penalty of it right now.
Yep.
And to your other point about the rivalries being meaner, the players don't stay on the teams as long. I mean, when we're dealing with the Bears and Ben Johnson, it's a new team. So it's not like having the same players for 6-7 years going at it. You've got guys now who they'll almost be auditioning to try to get on another team because they know free agency is coming up. They want to play with Caleb, let's say. So they're not going to be so mean. Right, more money. But they're not going to be as mean as they could be if it was like, okay, I'm in this locker room for the next 6-7 years with the same guys. We're going into the trenches together every year, every training camp. So that takes away a little bit of the that meanness.
Yeah. I think we're the second division that really has genuine rivalries, and they live that. I think the AFC North with Pittsburgh and Baltimore, they have a legit. They hate each other. They don't like each other, right? Those
fans hate each other.
The fans hate each other.
Stands.
Exactly. And I think that the NFC North, our division, the Black and Blue division, I think we're one notch below that. I want to get to the top. I want to have that rivalry. But we were so bad for a while that you know what I mean. It's not really a rivalry if you're not winning games. But now it is.
Yeah,
that's it. Well, guys, unless you have any last thoughts about training camp, the Bears, their current roster situation, anything like that, we're going to turn the page.
Can I trash Jordan Love for a second? Did y'all see the clip? Did y'all see the clip of him throwing that pass at training camp?
No, I
did. He dropped back. He dropped. I got to send it to you guys. I do
everything in my power to avoid watching anything with Jordan Love in it.
Well, I mean, this one you would love. You would absolutely love it. I mean, he dropped back. He tried to throw the ball, and it went, I don't know, 50 feet in the air and came down like 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, and it was intercepted. And you could hear the guys in the stands cheering it on and stuff like that. Like, because it's the defense made a play, but at the same time, it was a horrible throw. It looked like myself trying to throw a pass out there. It was bad. So, I just like seeing those types of clips. I don't look for anything good. I look for the bad, all bad.
Okay. Yes.
Valid. Like that pass against Carolina last year.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well, hey, we're going to transfer over to all the fun stuff. Guys, this is part of the new format of Bear Their Soulz. We're going to take this first half of the show. We're going to talk Bears. We're going to talk barroom stuff. We're going to talk division. We're going to talk football. But we're not going to bore you guys with all that because, frankly, it's Wednesday night. You've already heard half of what's already going to be said for the week, and the rest of it, you're going to hear the rest of the week. There's only so much we can say that hasn't been regurgitated 100 times over. As you guys know, we are men of many talents here at the Barroom, and we're going to share some of those talents with you for the rest of this show. But first, I want to bring the attention to Aaron Current, who is the host of our Barroom Barfly Tailgate Show. Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Central Time, Barfly Tailgate Show, right here on this same channel on the Barroom Network. Listen to it wherever you're listening to this podcast. Tailgate Crew's going to come in, talk about training camp battles, make some season-long predictions. Like I said, a lot of stuff we've already talked about, and a whole lot more after that, too. So tune into them on Sunday morning. The whole gang's there. I think it's the same returning cast from next year, but I'm not going to quote myself on that. So I don't want to say something out of place. In addition to that, we have, Aldo, if you would throw it up for me. I'm not sure where to find it at this point in time, but we also have Monsters of the Barroom coming, a show dedicated to you, the fans, where you, the Barflies, the people who make this network happen for all of us, will have an opportunity to have your voice heard on a podcast just like this one, hosted by the man himself, Aldo Gandia. I haven't seen it pop up yet. I know that there's some more details than that. I just can't come up with them off the top of my head because, frankly, this is Aldo's project. It's a pet project for him. And I really think that it's an awesome opportunity to get people just like the three of us, myself, Danikin, and Fitz, who were once upon a time fans and now have our own podcast, exposure to this world so that you can potentially have your voice heard, discovered by others, and share yourself on a platform you might not have otherwise had. There are contest rules in this episode's YouTube description, and I'm sure they will continue to be there until winners are selected and the first episode airs. I know there are hopes and intentions to make this a more long-term thing, not just a one-time spectacle, but it's up to y'all to both listen to this and participate in it to make that happen. With all of that said, like I said before, we are transitioning into our, post-football section, and this is Fitz's food review.
Chicago Dogs and Fries at Nicky V's. Nicky V's at 11055 South Pulaski in Chicago's Mount Greenwood neighborhood has continued the long-standing tradition of the Chicago hot dog stand. It doesn't get much better than a perfectly cooked Vienna beef hot dog dragged through the garden Chicago style. Make sure to try their big bag of fresh cut fries and wash it down with an ice cold can of RC Cola. And don't forget the pizza puff. Nicky V's is a smash and gets a 320 on the Fitzometer. That's Nicky V's at 11055 South Pulaski in Chicago, Illinois. And check out their locations at Marionette Park, Oak Forest, Lamont, and Bedford Park. Where should I eat next? Comment in the replies, #FitzMagicEats, and check out all of my reviews on my YouTube channel at FitzMagicShy.
All right, Nicky V's. If you haven't been there, it's definitely a South Side. It's turning into a South Side staple, and that's one of the interesting things about it. It started, I believe, in 2019. They opened their first location in Oak Forest. If you think about that, that's right before the pandemic. And what's going on there?
Wrong person. I was supposed to bring you up. It brought me up instead. My apologies, Fitz. Okay. I'm not trying to rug pull you here.
No, yeah. So they started right before the pandemic, and they've kind of just exploded. They've put in 4 new locations. I was at the one in Mount Greenwood in Chicago, at 111th and Pulaski, and I think they've just found the right niche of having the great Chicago street food and having a few items of their own. They've got some good takes on cheese fries. I mean, the fries on their own were spectacular. Those fresh hand cut fries, but they do the hot dogs, just right. And it's one of the better. How does a pizza puff taste different from location to location? I don't know if it's in the oil, but it's one of the better ones that I've had. So Nicky V's, they're going to be around a long time, I think.
Nice.
Love to hear it, man.
Yeah,
it looked good. It all looked great. You mentioned the pizza puff tasting different from place to place. I've been air frying mine at home because it's supposed to be a little healthier than deep frying, and they look a little, slightly different. I had that one on air, a couple months ago. It was so worth it though. The flavor is unmatched no matter how you cook it. It's the perfect topper on all these meals that you do.
Nikki V's has a pizza puff burger, like so it's two pizza puffs with the burger in between. So
Wow.
that sounds so crazy and so good all at the same time.
I'm reading in the chat, people still don't know that RC's still around.
I'm blown away by that.
Yeah.
You see RC everywhere. Where you guys live? You know?
Yeah, I feel like I haven't done my job, so it's like, you got to keep spreading the word.
We'll get it. We'll spread the good word of the RC. Don't worry.
Yes. And today is National Chicken Wing Day, right?
It is.
So, and I have right here a plate of chicken wings that I made myself.
Hold it back up one more time. Hold it back
there
up.
We
there
go.
Yeah.
So we got herb and garlic, and I made some buffalo sauce with some garlic and some Worcestershire. So Worcester. Yeah, you know what I said.
Yep.
Okay. And I mean, I've got some ranch here to dip it with, but there we go. But these are just really good on their own, and I've been sitting here smelling them the whole show. I gotta eat some.
It seems like torture just having them sitting there this whole show.
Gosh,
I wouldn't have been able to resist. You're a
really
stronger
good.
man than me. Okay.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Wow. That felt like a shot. My question was for everybody is what's better? Boneless, traditional, or neither? Oh, looks like we lost Danikin. I'm sure he'll be back shortly. Personally, I don't think there's a wrong answer here. I think it all depends on personal taste. I love boneless wings. And the reason for it is I think that the differentiator between good wings is the sauce, not the wing, right? It's a garbage part of the animal anyway. So it's all about the sauce. And on boneless wings, you get more of the sauce. Yes, it's a saucy chicken nugget, but it is what it is, in my opinion. It's all about the sauce. It's all about the sauce.
Yeah, I'm gonna say my my standard answer that I say on X. I'll go with both of them. I like them both. And call them what you want. If you want to call them fancy chicken nuggets, I still think boneless ones can be very good. My favorite probably is the Lou Malnati's boneless with their barbaloo sauce.
Yeah,
I
had
love
those
it.
Last time I was there, they were pretty solid.
Yeah, and their ranch dressing is excellent as well. But,
the place I was working at before, they hand breaded their boneless wings to order, which you would think it'd be really good, but they pickled the meat in like pickle juice before they breaded it. So it gave it like almost a tough texture. And it really ruined the experience for me because like, I don't know. I want my boneless wings to have a crunch, not a snap, so to say.
A little thicker breading to it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, the boneless ones definitely. I'm a person that I don't really like a lot of bread on traditional wings. You know what I mean? I'm more of a, and I thought it was cool, Fitz, that lets us know that it's really good. When a guy says you've ever, seen somebody that cooks something and it's like, they don't need anything on it, right? Steak, you don't need steak sauce. You don't need A1 sauce, right? You're not supposed to, right? So when he pulls it out and he says, hey, now I'm jealous because we should have had some of that. You know what I mean?
I completely agree, actually. I thought about going to get some for the show, and I ran out of time. It's one of those days, guys. I would have loved to be sitting here smacking on some wings. You guys would have hated it because I'd be doing it right in the microphone too.
Trying to show some decorum here.
A little bit, the little that we have, right?
Right.
We had this spot out by where I used to live in Colorado that would serve you the whole chicken wing, dude. I mean, we're talking from shoulder to tip, and the sauce on them was just incredible. And it always bummed me out because they didn't have boneless wings. now a boneless guy. God damn.
I like the whole wing, like a Harold's or an Uncle
Mhm.
Remus that they do.
Absolutely.
They deep fry them. Oh yeah, and that's a huge argument in Chicago. It's almost as big as deep dish and thin crust is the Uncle Remus Harold's debate.
Mhm.
And it's Harold's is South Side, Uncle Remus is West Side. It just takes on a whole new life, and it gets pretty nasty.
What do you guys feel about the char buff wings?
Char buff wings. I can't
Not
say
familiar?
which.
Maybe it's more of an Omaha thing, but I don't know. They take the wings, they fry them, they cook them, and then they slap them on the grill. And
After
they
they
char
fry-
them. After
Oh.
they're fried, they char them up. And
can't say I've ever
you know,
had that.
it's sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Caramelizes the sauce on there as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a different flavor, but you got to do it right. You know, a lot of the place I used to work at, we'd put them in a grill press, actually, like you make a burger on, so that way it would get them on both sides at the same time. And that did a whole number for those things, man. It was awesome.
Reminds me of Hooters. I think they got like Daytona wings. Have you ever had those? Where they do the same thing. They fry them and then they grill them.
Yeah.
So it caramelizes that stuff. Yeah.
Right.
It's probably not as good because it's Hooters is Hooters, but it's just,
recipe
just the
segment,
idea. If you have the idea of it.
Well, in addition to the recipe segment,
can I say one thing about that?
Brand just suggested. Go right ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I just want to say, I at my job, there's a place that came up and it's called Fingers, right? And it's Chicago
That's
style food.
questionable.
Yeah, I know, right? Fingers with a Z,
Mentioned that,
right?
yeah.
Fingers with a Z.
Okay.
I'm
but
sure
is
there
it
are
a
some
verb
people
or a
that
noun. Like
I don't
that's
know.
the
I don't. It beats me, but it's a Chicago food, right? They got Chicago food, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna get lunch from there the other day, so I got it, and they have a $12 deal, right? And Fitz, this will be up your alley. Like for $12, I got an Italian beef with fries, a pizza puff with fries, and I thought it was just going to be an Italian for $12. I thought it was going to be an Italian beef and fries, and then they were like throwing a pizza puff for free or something. That's what I thought it was. Come to find out, it's 2 whole meals, man. Like I couldn't eat it all. I ate the pizza puff and the fries, and then I saved the Italian beef for later, and the other fries for later as well. Pretty good for $12.
Yeah,
$12.
That's insane.
Yeah.
In this economy, holy
I was surprised. I was blown away.
Well, how was it?
It was good. It was real good, actually. Yeah, it was real good. They did a good job. It's actually, you get some places that's like, oh yeah, Chicago style, and you get it and it's like, that's. But no, it was good, and of course the pizza puff was good. Came in the same wrapper and everything as the pizza puff wrapper.
Okay.
Yeah, I was surprised.
I mean, I just happen to know on the distribution side of things, they send more of those things. You order a case of pizza puffs, and they send more of those little pouches than they send pizza puffs in the box. I mean, I don't know why they put so many of those damn things in there, but my mom's got her restaurant, and those things are coming out of the walls at that place. I swear to God, there's just so many.
Another
Yeah.
wing question we could ask: do you like drumstick or flats? That's
Yeah, I'm a drums guy. I totally understand the flats argument, though.
Yeah, I like drumsticks too. Just a little more
Yeah,
meat.
I like the drums. Yeah, me too.
My wife will do the flats, and she'll kind of bite the end off and then twist it and pull the wing out and just eat the like it's. She's got a whole system. I'm like, that's disgusting. She's like,
Like
"Don't
it
watch."
was like a crawdad,
That's it.
Suck
That's
it
it.
off.
We don't need to talk about my wife sucking things off.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go there.
Anyway, Tallybrand brought up a good suggestion here for us with a little recipe segment. And funny enough, I actually had, I guess you could call it a recipe prepared for everybody tonight. This is going to suck. This is the Murakami Moonshot. We take 1 ounce Malort, half an ounce lime juice, half an ounce triple sec. Mix it all up in your shaker with some ice. I don't have a real shaker, so you get the shaker cup. pour and enjoy. Down it goes. That is floral and refreshing. Wow. Didn't expect that.
I didn't expect to hear floral.
Yeah.
Floral and refreshing.
Look, you read the back of the Malort bottle. I've got it right here. And right on it, it says, has the aroma and full-bodied flavor of an unusual botanical. I never once tasted it before I put lime juice in it. I'll tell you that much.
I have a question. Like, how much did you have to drink prior to that?
That was the first drink I had because I wanted to give a genuine reaction.
Okay.
Because, I'll be the first person to tell you, Malort gets better the longer you drink it. So, which, I mean, is disgusting to some people, having more than one. But I don't know. I genuinely think that the more you taste it, the more you get accustomed to the taste. It's just like drinking whiskey, right? The first time you drink whiskey, you're like, holy fuck. And everything's on fire. And then, you kind of learn, how to sip and how to dilute and how to mix and this, that, and the other thing. And you start understanding the notes behind it, your brown sugar and your vanilla and your smokier flavors and so on and so forth. Malort's the same way, except you have to be a little insane. Yeah.
You got to be a little insane.
That's it. I mean, it I don't know if you guys have seen it, and I wish I would have grabbed it, but Hillary Duff actually did a shot. That's Lizzie McGuire, for those of you who remember that, whether it was your daughters or you and your sisters who watched it. But Lizzie McGuire is doing an international headlining tour, and she played Chicago. And somehow they got her to do a shot of Malort on stage. And I swear to God, she almost vomited on stage.
Wow.
But my point being, the more accustomed you become to it, the more you can actually taste the hints and the notes and the flavors. But making this shot the way that I did not have to do that at all. And I took the shot and I was like, wow, I taste the shit Malort flavor, but I also taste the actual like herbal, botanical, sort of floral aromas that are in there as well. It was very surprising. Very surprising. That was an honest reaction. You can see I was straight-faced afterwards. Yeah. I expected to have like a hat, and no, it was just straight, man. Yeah. It was amazing. I think I might have found the secret to drinking Malort.
I might try it too, man.
And sip it.
Honestly, I gave it to my buddy too, and he was like, I could actually sip on this. It's that like drinkable.
Really?
I'm like, guys, the secret, it's just a kamikaze. It's just a kamikaze made with Malort instead of vodka or tequila or whatever the root is.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But Cliff, I see your comment. You like tequila and mezcal. I actually had a mezcal old fashioned while my buddy was in town. And it is actually one of the most interesting and decent drinks I've had in a long time that wasn't whiskey. The mezcal gives it like a really naturally smoky flavor. And, smoked old fashions are a big thing these days. So to be able to do it without having to actually smoke it, if you don't have a smoker on hand, the mezcal, it's a much lighter flavor as well. I feel like bourbon sits heavy on the tongue, whereas mezcal, it's got, I guess you would call it more of like an umami where it sits light on the tongue and kind of balances in your mouth. Very interesting.
Nice. That's my favorite drink is a old fashioned. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Very good drink.
And that's why I ordered this. We were at one of those yuppie ass, modern hipster bars. And I saw this, drink that, like I said, it's basically a mezcal old fashioned, and it was very, very surprisingly good. So, but hey, if this is a segment that you guys enjoy, that everybody wants to talk about, maybe we start having a little mixer segment on this show. We'll come up with some new recipes to try. I do actually have the benefit of having a smoker, and I've got some mixology in my background. I was running, a few bars in my day, so always willing to try new things. If the bar room's willing to bankroll it, hint, hint. So. Guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for our food review section tonight. Happy National Wing Day to those who have celebrated, and to those who haven't, Buffalo Wild Wings is open until midnight. So I think Wingstop's open till 1.
That's it.
I don't think we have our new graphic for Fitz's segment. So we'll skip it for this time, but I'll make sure we get that uploaded so that we can share that for everybody, because it's a pretty sweet little thing that Aldo spent some serious time putting together for us. So we keep it moving along. Normally we'll have a music segment right around here. I don't actually have one for anybody this week, and the reason for that being, this is our first show back. We're kind of easing into everything. If you guys really want, I still have our season wrap-up show from last year that we never played, that I'd be happy to share with you guys. But
you're a bad boy, very bad boy. On your knees now.
All right, I'll download it. I will download it. There is one thing I wanted to talk about, and I forgot to grab my prop for it, though.
Fizz is going to work right now.
Get those wings.
They're really good.
Yeah.
They look like it, man. Especially the way you're getting in on them. Yeah, give me just a moment here. I can download this. It shouldn't take very long at all. And I'll throw it up here on Streamyard for us to share with everybody.
Yeah, that'll work. I remember that season wrap up. That was good too.
It was a fun one. You know, it was something that I was excited to do for us. I just have to find it. That's all.
Cliff said Fitz is making me hungry. See, man, you know, you guys watch this show and you're gonna start eating at 9-10 o'clock from now.
That's
on,
right.
you know what I mean?
That's the problem, man. Like I'm trying to be good. My buddy came to town and we got a little carried away. You know, we went out, we did our thing, and I'm trying to be better about it now that he's gone. You know, I want to lose some of this weight and stuff and be ready for football season. Be ready to run around with my kids, really, is what I'm trying to do, because I think they're both playing this fall.
Okay.
And, you know, one of those rules, Caleb Williams mentioned it himself, not eating after 7 o'clock, man. Getting a good sleep schedule and not eating after 7 o'clock. So that's what I'm trying to do this year. I did eat before showtime. I was smart. You'll never guess what I had.
Pizza puff.
A pizza puff and an Italian beef.
All right. All right.
It was my last one.
You're so wise. You're like a miniature Buddha covered in hair.
I don't get home till 7 from work, and I'm starving. So that.
Hey, the point is more about keeping a consistent schedule rather than any specific time, and it's a big thing, I know, in the intermittent fasting community. And hey, we can talk diets all we want if you guys want to add that to a segment of the show. I don't think the three of us are the guys to really consult on that, though. Guys, it decides to play all by itself, and I'm trying not to let it. But we've got this little video that I threw together. This is made with Suno. Just a forewarning to everybody. I don't have the time or abilities to produce an entire song every week, so we do use some AI to help. I will say that all of the lyrics are always written by me, and in addition to that, oftentimes some of the music is written by me as well, and AI is used to enhance what has already been written by me. This is not purely AI creation. This is not me trying to drain the anything. But I'm going to go ahead and let this launch. I'm going to run off real quick and grab my prop for our later discussion. But this was our season-ending song from last year, and it seems like an appropriate way to start this season as well.
Last second down by 7, Caleb launches a ball towards heaven. We all hold our breath, wonder what happens next. Even though we know he's about to connect. Overtime gives and overtime takes. Time to clutch up with the season at stake. He's as clean as it gets, wonder what happens next. Never expected to be intercept. We're a little sad that it's over, but happy to have what we had. Back to square one, there's work to be done till that trophy's raised over our head. It was a damn good ride. I had a damn good time with some strangers that turned into brothers, some enemies turned into friends. I'm still so damn happy. I'm still filled with pride. words took so long to say, but the words kept trying to fade away. But the season was just so special, felt like this one needed to reach the next level. Cause when your good gets better, your better gets best. You truly never wanna let it rest. The mentality's different, the spirit has changed. It's gonna be tough to spend an off season away. Sad that it's over, but happy to have what we had. Back to square one, there's work to be done till that trophy's raised over our head. It was a damn good ride, I had a damn good time with some strangers that turned into brothers, some enemies turned into friends. I'm still so damn happy, I'm still filled with pride for the season we never expected, and that feeling we'll chase again. It's so hard to put into words, emotions uplifted and feeling stirred. If I had to describe it, I don't know that I could. It's organized chaos, insanity managed. The bar has been raised, expectations have changed. So much better than just a year ago, but we still know we've got a long way to go. A little sad that it's over, but happy to have what we had. Back to square one, there's work to be done till that trophy's raised over our head. It was a damn good ride, I had a damn good time with some strangers that turned into brothers, some enemies turned into friends. I'm still so damn happy, I'm still filled with pride for the season we never expected, and that feeling we'll chase again.
Love it.
Yes.
I freaking worship you, man.
That was
Very
our
good
season ender from last year. It was very hard to find a way to put the emotions into words after that loss to the Rams. And honestly, I didn't even write that until like March. So it took some time to put together. And that's part of why we never shared it on the show before now. But that will be the conclusion to last year's album, so to say. Which I am looking into getting on Spotify so it can be streamed. Everybody can listen to it. I hope to have more human elements in the songs this year, which means they might be stylistically a little less diverse than they were last year, but hopefully a little more raw and meaningful because of that. So we'll see what we're able to do with all of that. It's going to be a matter of time more than anything. But my real conversation that I wanted to get into tonight regarding music is, are these things back? This is a vinyl record for those of you not watching, or for those of you that just can't tell what I'm holding up. But I've got a whole vinyl collection, and I don't think any two of these things are the same color, by the way, which seems to be a part of the resurgence of this. But man, physical media is a whole secondary conversation that comes along with this conversation. But man, I've really been loving my vinyl collection lately. I have 4 different vinyls from some of my favorite bands that are actually remixes. And when I say remixes, I don't necessarily mean like, techno mixes or whatever. I mean, like they sent the stems back to the studio and mixed it in a way differently from how it was on the original recording. And they were released exclusively on vinyl. And that's why I've kind of started this collection originally because of that. But it's just, I think it's so great to have the physical media and to be able to listen to it so purely. You can hear things that you can't hear otherwise. Just curious if you guys have, physical media collections, if you're into vinyls or any other kind of physical media.
This is like, over the last 30 years, I think this is like the 4th time we've asked the question, is vinyl back? I remember sitting in a classroom at Columbia College and my professor talking about how vinyl was making a comeback, and this is 1995,
right?
Because the sound was just more authentic than the crisp sound we were getting off of CDs. So there was like a backlash of over CDs at the time.
Right.
That said, both my daughters have good vinyl collections, and they're 24 and 26. So I still have records. I still have CDs that I go through. So I think it has made a comeback as far as like it's reached other generations, younger generations.
Mhm.
So when my daughter was just my oldest was just moving this past week, and we're getting a box where we're putting all her vinyl records in, that she's collected now over the past few years. So yeah, I think I don't know if it's necessarily left. It just every so often it just comes back to the center of attention, but there's always people. Our guy Mailman Jack, who's in the chat all the time, he loves the vinyl record stores, and he's always at the like yearly sales that they have. So yeah, I think it's I don't think it's leaving ever again.
That's it. I guess the question would better be stated than, did vinyl ever leave?
Right. It's been around. It sort of makes it's like a pulse, and now it's on the uptick of that pulse, and it'll go back for a little bit, but then,
Yeah, I don't think it's left either. I think it's always been there. I think there are some enthusiasts that really like it, and it's something different about you have a record player and you throw that record on and you can sit back and relax. Even I mean, even if it's like blues or R&B or soul or whatever that you're listening to, oldies, whatever. Even the new stuff, rap albums, whatever. Anything that you put out there, you know what I mean? There's somebody that can vibe to it and kind of like just enjoy it. And it's something different as for a person who loves music. Most people that love music would love to listen to a vinyl just because.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
It's so warm. It's just
different. Yeah, it's different from just somebody that just listens to the radio or something like that. If you really love music, you want to listen to certain aspects of it, then you're going to do that. And I have a little bit of a vinyl connection. I wouldn't say it was real deep. It's not like my shoe collection or anything like that.
Sure.
Or like you, Zim, you probably have way more than I do. But yeah, I do have a few. And it's fun from time to time, man. You sit back and relax, whether it be some jazz that you're listening to, Kenny G, whatever, all that type of stuff. It's pretty fun to just throw it on. Even if you got like a little party, that's a talking point at a party. If you have like a house party or a gathering or something, throw that on and get to listening to some music, man. It's fun.
Definitely. Yeah. It's funny. I actually only have about a dozen of my own. My wife actually inherited some from her grandmother. And funny you should mention all the different styles, because these are actually books on record. They're Disney stories on record. And the slipcover is actually the book. So you can read along to it. They're really unique. And I thought they were really interesting. And part of the reason why I haven't really expanded too much of my record collection is because, and I hope it's no time soon. I'm going to knock on wood before I say any of this, but I know eventually I will inherit my dad's very, I don't want to say extensive collection, but a very good collection, to put it simply. He's got a lot of older things, and that's sort of what turned me onto this as well, is that he showed me at a young age. The difference is his are analog recordings on an analog pressing, whereas we're usually listening to digital recordings on an analog pressing. So we're actually technically losing something putting things on records versus listening to them on CDs in today's formats, because just to nerd out a little bit with my audio engineering knowledge, but CDs are actually in .wav format, which has much less compression on it. And that's why you can actually hear a lot more over a CD than you can over streaming. It's because it's a lot more lossless. It's not truly lossless, but it's extremely close to it. And whatever Spotify or Apple Music is trying to tell you is lossless, it still doesn't reflect CD quality.
No.
And these, are records, they are very close. But again, because they're analog playback of digital recordings, they do have those differentiations. That's where, these two of these limited edition ones that I have are actual analog recordings on analog records that have been remixed specifically for the analog sound, which is so cool to me.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't worry too much about vinyl because a lot of the things that I would want from, I'd estimate about 1986 and older, I know will one day be in my possession, I hope. So again, knock on wood, I'm not wishing anything ill on anyone because I know that he's also enjoying them regularly. I did want to highlight this one because as we're talking about it, this is from the Wonder Years. It's called No Closer to Heaven. They actually just went on a 10-year anniversary tour for this album. But one of my favorite things about it is the creativity of the jewel cases that we're starting to get back. That I do think was a lost art form with vinyls. You know, the Rolling Stones did it back in the 70s with their zipper that was, you know, eventually recalled and eliminated, and they had to reprint those albums. But this one actually came with, if I can get it out here, several different artworks.
Oh,
And
that's nice.
this cage you can see is shiny because it's actually a frame. So you can change out, you know, if you're displaying your jewel case here, you can actually change it out for each song that you're listening to, not just for each record that you're listening to, which I thought was a nifty little touch that they added to this to kind of help justify the more expensive price. I'm not proud of how much I paid for this album, but you know, again, when they do cool things like that, I feel like it's a way to give back to the listener a little bit.
Nice.
Now, speaking of giving back to the listener, something we're hoping to do this season is hopefully some giveaways. Kind of a teaser here. I don't have anything secured yet. We are hoping to do some giveaways here at the Bar Room, particularly on Bear Their Soulz this season. So share the news around, tell your friends. You know, the number one thing you can do, genuinely, go up to your browser taskbar. What the hell is that called? I don't even know what it's called anymore. I'm getting old, guys. I'm out of touch. But you know, go up to the URL, copy it, Control C, find somebody you know that might enjoy our show, Control V, and send it to them. That's the number one way you can spread the word about us. You know, give us a thumbs up on YouTube, subscribe to us if you're not already. I'm sure you already are. We have a new Twitter handle at Bear Their Soulz. That's Souls with a Z. So you can follow us over on X, the site formerly known as Twitter. And that's a good place to stay engaged with us. We have all of our handles below us here on screen as well. So Fitz's used napkins may or may not be a giveaway. That is to be determined, actually. It's really more of...
That'll be for my 25,000th follower on Twitter.
There you go. You heard the man. Follow him. When he gets to 25,000, we're giving away used napkins.
That's right.
So, all right. Well, hey, coming back off of the vinyl discussion, pop culture segment. We need a little intro. We need intros for all these segments. Maybe that's just me, but I love a good segment intro. So, hey, looks like I got some homework this week.
All right.
We're into pop culture here, though, guys. I was going to mention some wonderful things. Actually, yes. Let me back up just a moment. Sorry to keep going. Sorry, I saw some things down in the chat I wanted to mention. Guys, I want to listen to your recommendations for music. I want to hear things that the Barflies and my co-hosts, you know, want to share with each other. I want to hear what you guys have to share. I'll give my honest reflections on it. I enjoy music and I need to expand my horizons more. I found myself in a funk and a groove lately, you know, sort of like the grooves on a record. I'm in that groove and I can't get out. So I need somebody to hit the return button, bring me back and change the disc or the record for me. Send me your suggestions. I will give my honest feedback. I will probably try to find something positive to say no matter what, because frankly, I can 9 times out of 10 find something positive to say about music. That's just me. That's who I am deep down. So send me your interests, your music taste. You can direct message me. You can mention me on X or Twitter. And okay, sorry for that short aside, but That is something I would really like to do this season to engage more with our audience. Songs or albums, either one works. Songs, obviously, you have a better chance of me cranking through, multiple in a week. An album, I will probably dedicate an entire week to an album. Probably only have time for one a week. So, again, moving back into pop culture, things we've been watching lately, guys. I've been into Rick and Morty season 9. It's currently airing episode by episode, which I love that they're going episode by episode and not just dumping the whole season at once and saying, here's a pile, have at it. It gives me something to look forward to each week. For those of you unfamiliar with Rick and Morty, it's loosely, and I say loosely, based on Back to the Future. Really, it is.
Okay.
It's made by Dan Harmon. Dan Harmon is the creator of Community, if you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
He has a few other things that he's created as well. I think Community is one of his better known things alongside Rick and Morty. Something that I thought was really interesting, I was discussing with my buddy, is after season 4, one of their other creators, one of the main creators, got into a little bit of trouble and stopped contributing to the show. And weirdly enough, I think it got better. So just something to keep in mind if you haven't watched it in a little while. Season 9 is the best season since that whole thing has happened, and it's only been getting better. So,
Nice.
Guys, if you have anything you've been watching or want to share, I'd love to hear it.
I've been watching, and that's something that I slept on for a little while. You know what I mean? I've seen it a couple times, but Yellowstone, actually, I've been watching that. And I started at season 1, and now I'm into season 3, I think it is, like 3, episode 2 or something like that. So, I'm behind, for most people in that regard. And I know a lot of people have watched that show. But as I started watching, I was like, man, I slept on this. I'm tripping. It was a real good. It's real good. I like it. I like that show a lot.
I have yet to watch it. It's part of it's got a couple sister series, right?
Yeah, it does. I think there's one that's called like Dutton Ranch, and then there's another one that's called like 1923 or something like that. I haven't gotten into those, of course. I started with Yellowstone, and I mean, once you start learning some of the characters and the stuff that's going on, it's like, man, it's pretty good, man. The writers on that, they did an excellent job on that series, I believe.
Yes, I'm into the true crime genre, and Netflix has some good ones, and they had a new one this year, Maternal Instinct. I don't know if you've seen that one.
I know my wife has watched it. I'm trying to remember if it's the one I walked in on or not.
It's about this happened in 2020, I believe. This woman gets this boyfriend and tells him that she's got all this money and whatnot, and it finally leads to the point where she actually fakes a pregnancy, kills a pregnant woman, takes her unborn baby out, and tries to pass along that she gave birth to it. It's one of those things where it can go two ways for you. You can either be completely depressed about the state of our civilization today, or you can be in a spot where you goes, well, at least I've never done that or thought about it. It's like, I might have been a bad person, but I did not do what she did.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew about what happened, but just seeing this and seeing the poor boyfriend, like, he didn't do anything for her to choose him. It was just kind of such a sad thing all the way around. And but it was well done, again, like those Netflix ones tend to be. And so if you're into that, I would definitely Maternal Instinct, that's the one. So
yeah. I watched a couple of documentaries too. I forgot the name of it. Well, the one documentary, I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it was like it was strange, man. I don't know how I came across it, but we ended up watching it, and I don't know who put me like why we chose that one, but we ended up watching this documentary, and it was a twisted web of all types of stuff. Like, it was a true situation that went on, and basically it was a guy. He was married to one woman. They bought a condo together. They split up, and they still own the condo together or whatever, but they had split up. They got, whatever. I don't think they got married. I think they were just together and then they split up. He got a new girlfriend. He ended up getting, married to her, and they were, having a baby. She was pregnant and whatnot. And all of a sudden, like the way the story goes or the documentary was told, like they start getting harassed by the ex, right? So the ex is like harassing them, sending emails and all types of stuff. Like, I ain't even gonna get into the stuff that was being said.
Toxic love story, is that it?
I think that might be it. That's it. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
I was blown away. I'm like, this can't be serious. Like, and come to find out at the end, it was the husband basically acting like the ex, but he was also in cahoots with his current wife to frame her. And basically, I guess, I don't know why he did it. Maybe to sell the condo, because I know he sold the condo when she went to jail for like 4 or 5 months or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Because he actually got her arrested at some point, and then she goes to jail. They sell the condo, but come to find out, his current wife is like a con artist of some sort, her on her own, where she faked having cancer at one point in a previous relationship, and then she faked the pregnancy that she was having with him. Like, she gave a fake sonogram of twins and all time. It's just the web of deceit.
Yeah. Yep.
Is
my wife was watching that
outstanding,
one
man.
too.
It was crazy.
Man,
it was crazy.
She can't get enough of this stuff. Jeez. It sounds like you guys can't either.
I was blown away, man. I was like, that's insane.
It's like you just start hearing one lie after another, and it just keeps dragging you in. Like,
yeah,
I can't believe this. It's like
one of those things that just gets crazier and crazier, and you're like, "There's no way. There's no way." Lots of good suggestions here in chat. I'm seeing, the Stewart fails to save the universe from HBO, I think. Yeah, spinoff of The Big Bang Theory. President Curtis spinoff of Rick and Morty. We'll see about that one. Aldo suggests Once Upon a Time in Space, a 4-part documentary from PBS. Watch PBS, guys, because if we don't, it goes away.
Yeah.
Donald Gooch mentions Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which I know is a little behind, but I mean, I've heard nothing but good things. I haven't watched it yet either. My wife is so excited for the next season to come out, so I expect that. I mean, she's got good taste. What can I say? It's probably a good show. Most recent thing that I've seen outside of Rick and Morty is the new Will Ferrell show, The Hawk. It's on Netflix if you have Netflix. It's a golf show. I'm only 2 episodes in. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Chad Powers, if you guys enjoyed that, which Chad Powers season 2 coming this year. But a little bit of comedy, a little bit of drama in there, and I'll get back to you next week after I finish the whole thing if you guys want to watch along. Last little bit thing that I've got here is it's this guy's 25th birthday. This is Pokemon Crystal version. I got a shout out. You guys know I love Pokemon. Little fun fact, this was intended to be the last Pokemon game. 25 years ago was supposed to be the last Pokemon game, but it was so damn successful, they realized they just couldn't stop doing it. And here we are now, celebrating Pokemon's 30th anniversary this year. So just goes to show if people love it, man, there's a reason to keep selling.
Yep.
So, well, to wrap up our show tonight, another video game, as long as I've brought them up, Madden is right around the corner. To bring this whole show full circle here, Madden, as we all know, is one of the great football games of our generation, if not the only football game of our generation. So it exists. It's a thing. I thought I had something set up for this, but I think it got moved around a little bit, but it's okay. And our top 10 quarterbacks here, take note of number 9, guys. That's our guy in Chicago, Caleb Williams, as the 9th best quarterback in football, echoing something we've been hearing from coaches and GMs around the league. And you'll also notice one spot below him is Jared Goff. And not on this list anywhere is Captain EPA himself, Jordan Haidt. So,
or
That's
the
the best
two
I got.
quarterbacks in Minnesota either.
hey, I bet if you add up their overalls, though, it's somewhere around 90.
Maybe 84, maybe.
But yeah, so Madden's got theirs listed out there. Things are slowly starting to come out about the game. Funny enough, in the 99 Club, we seemingly have our new Brady and Mahomes in Brady and Mahomes, excuse me, our Brady and Manning and Matt Stafford and Josh Allen, you know, with their combined 1 Super Bowl ring. So apparently these guys are both worthy of a 99, despite one of them being carried by an elite defense and the other one also being carried by an elite defense. I'll take shots at everybody, guys. I am indiscriminate.
That's it.
We got Joe, one leg Burrow at a 97. Lamar, I can run really fast at 94. Mahomes currently on one leg, 93. Drake May at 92 overall. Dak Prescott, I don't even know. America's quarterback at 91.
There's your stat chaser.
Yeah,
We're
really.
talking about Stafford. I mean,
yeah. And Justin, I'm fucking better than you, Herbert, because holy shit, what an off season that guy's had. You guys see he's engaged to Madison Beer now. Like, he is just like the epitome of, like, if you had a goal, it's
winning.
Like, he's probably hit it. The only thing he hasn't done is like win a Super Bowl, but like
win.
But okay, I'm sorry. If I told either of you guys when you were like 10 years old, like, hey, you're going to grow up to be an NFL quarterback, married to a beautiful actress, living in California year round, you know, which politics aside, weather's pretty damn nice.
San Diego? Yeah.
Right.
Oh, wait. No, they're in San Diego.
They're
in LA now, but you know.
And I mean, just thing after thing after thing after thing. It's like, this guy's got the whole package. Screw him. Anyway, Caleb Williams at number 9. Too high, too low? What do you guys think?
Just right, I think. Room to grow. He's got 8 spots he can creep up there.
Yeah. I think it's a great rating for him. 90 is about right. I think it's good. I look a little deeper too, the deep dive that I've looked. 95 is his injury rating, which means he's very durable, which is something you want from your quarterback. All those great quarterbacks, you know, Tom Brady rarely got injured. He did get injured once where he, you know, tore his ACL or whatever, but for the most part, he's always there. Matt Stafford always there. These guys are always there. They're not missing games. And I like seeing that 95 for injury rating.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot.
Yeah, Burrow's the only one on there that you could claim isn't necessarily reliable all the time.
Yeah,
he's missed a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, Drake May at number 6 is a little interesting, but I mean, the guy just made the Super Bowl.
Right.
92 though, man.
Give credit where it's due. I agree. I think it's too high, but I think, you know, it's not absurd. Fitz. Madden actually comes out the day you're going to training camp, so if you want to pick up a copy and get it signed for me, I'd appreciate that.
Sure. The first one I ever got, like I ever bought.
Are these ratings from last season? No, these are ratings for this upcoming Madden 27. This is for the new game about to release on August 13th.
Yep.
Now, in addition to that, the Bears' highest rated player is a 96 overall, Joe Thuney.
Protector of the year.
Nice.
Second highest overall is Caleb Williams at 90. Third highest overall is Jalen Johnson. Still at a 90 overall, despite missing most of last season. The league still regards him as a lockdown corner, something that I think is something that, you know, again, it shows the way the league thinks about these guys. I've seen some other guys higher up there, but the one that caught my attention, your top 10 tight ends in the NFL. Number 10, Colston Loveland.
Yeah.
A lot of people high on this guy. I really hate seeing the guy ahead of him is the guy from up north, who I don't think has done anything to deserve that rating, quite frankly. But Is this a product of Colson Loveland being that good, or a product of the league just not having that many elite tight ends right now? Especially considering you've got a guy like Brock Bowers at number 3, Mark Andrews still at a 90 overall.
Wow.
Dallas Goedert at an 89, you know?
I think there's about to be a seismic shift in the tight end game as far as names. I think within the next 2 years, most of those guys won't be on it. Loveland may be the only one in 2 years that's on it. I think just
Brock Bowers too. Brock Bowers will be.
I think Trey McBride will still be up there.
I think so.
Man,
But I think
he's a
there's a
vacuum.
change. There's change is coming.
I'll be honest though. I think Loveland is better than Hunter Henry. I think he's better than Tucker Kraft. I think he's better than Dallas Goedert. I think he's right there with Sam Laporta. I would put them neck and neck.
Yeah.
I think Mark Andrews is way too high to have a 90 rating. I just don't see it.
Not anymore.
Where's his backup? Where's the other? What's the other guy's
Isaiah
name?
Likely.
Yeah, where's he at? If Mark Andrews is a 90, I mean, where's he at? You know what I mean?
Absolutely, I totally agree with that.
So,
with that sentiment.
Yeah, but
very interesting.
Excuse
me. I'll be curious to see what the defensive stats come out as, because we already know that Jalen Johnson is going to be on that cornerbacks list. I'll be curious to see if Kobe Bryant makes the safeties list, and I think those are probably the only 2 guys we really have an idea for on the defense.
What do you think Sweat will be, Montez?
Not very high.
The motivated Dio Dingbo was a 99, right?
99.
That is fair. That is fair. We also have our rookie rankings for the Bears here. Dylan Thieneman, obviously, is our first round draft pick, leading the class at a 77 overall. Logan Jones, Xavier Thomas at 72s, Malik Muhammad at a 70. The rest of the guys in the 60s, obviously with room to grow. Xavier Thomas with a 96 speed rating, though. I mean, that is burner class in Madden.
Yeah.
That's going to make them fun to use online, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So just wanted to highlight it a little bit. We don't need to get too deep into all that. We can talk about it more as the game comes out, or, we'll see how everybody's feeling on it. Madden, hey man, Madden sells. We might not agree with it. We might not like what EA does with their microtransactions and all that. And if you guys have not heard about the debacle that happened with college football, I'm happy to break it down another night, but we are just about at time here. So I am going to try to just move us along a little bit. My final note on all of this, that's not the one I wanted. I wanted offensive ratings. The Bears fall in at, where is this? Not top 10 on
That's
the offensive
crazy.
ratings. I thought this was interesting, especially considering look who number 2 is in the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
All the way up at number 2 on this. Just
I
insanity.
can see them being there though. I can see Detroit being there.
Yeah, but much better than the Bears. We're talking at minimum 9 spots higher.
I don't see how the Patriots are that high, dude. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
For real?
Right.
I could see everybody else being there because I was like, okay, but the Patriots are they? I guess because they got AJ Brown now, but
Philadelphia?
I just don't see it. I don't see it, bro.
Philadelphia. Hey, that just, I mean, as bad as their offense was last year, and just did it get any better?
Yeah. How is Cincinnati at an 88 when they don't have a tight end or a running back,
Yeah.
I get, you got to do what you got to do, but at the same time, I think the Bears just have a much more complete offensive unit than some of these teams.
Yeah.
I get the Rams, I get the Lions, I get the Bills. I question Baltimore. I don't know, man. If
they've got the tight end ranked that high in Baltimore, I mean, they've still got Derrick Henry, they've still got Lambjack, they've still got Zay Flowers, who, in my opinion, is one of the true number 1 receivers in the league.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
Bears should have been top 10 though. That's.
I agree.
don't believe that.
It'll be interesting to see when the full ratings drop. We can analyze more at that point in time. Again, check us out on X at Bear Their Soulz, Soulz with a Z. If you find this header, from those of you watching on the video playback, this is what it'll look like. If you're listening to us via audio, find us anyway. We really appreciate all of you guys who listen. We love interacting with you in any way we can. Why did that go to 2 and not 3? Because I hit the wrong button. That's why.
Kick me out, man.
You know what? We'll talk later. We're going to need to talk about that one offline, all right? We'll circle back around on it. Did I use enough corporate talk in there for you guys?
Yes. Big time. Big time.
Guys, it's been great. If you have any last shout outs that you would like to throw out, please do. Before I sign off, I do want to say, guys, I love having you all in chat. I hope to have it more interactive this season because you in the chat room are the lifeblood of all of this. Without you, there is no reason for us to go live every week. So please throw it in the chat. We will have certain time periods of the show where we highlight those messages. If you throw out super chats and you feel the need to do that, that you want to do that, by no means do you have to do that. But if you want to, we will pay special attention to them. We will make sure that we take time and care for the things that you feel the need to address so importantly. If it's important to you, it's important to us. And that is a very important thing to remember here at the Bar Room. At the end of the day, though, we're just 3 guys sitting around having a conversation, and y'all are here listening to us. So participate with us, man. Participate along. Don't just be the weird guy in the corner watching the conversation. Jump in.
Right.
Have something to say. We're all ears. We're all ears.
Yep.
Guys, I hand it off to you. Danikin.
Man, shout out, of course, to the chat. You know what I mean? Shout out to you guys as well. Yeah, here's that corporate lingo right quick. I mean, he's doing his thing right now. But yeah, man, shout out to
I'm still learning.
Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody, man. 3 Kings in the Midway podcast. We're still doing that. Myself, Ill Will, Devori Nesby. We'll be back at it probably next week. So we're looking forward to that. Man, like, subscribe, talk crazy about us, talk good about us. It don't matter. Just talk about us. That's all it is. Right. You know what I mean? I don't care. You know what I mean? So, you know, have a good time. Enjoy it, man. You know, we're going to give bad takes. We're going to give good takes. We're going to be right. We're going to be wrong. That's what happens when you talk sports.
Love it. Fitz, what do you got for the people on our way out?
Yeah, just shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to you guys at the Bar Room. It's been a year now since I've been on, and it's been great. And I'm looking forward to this season, and it's going to be fun. Send me your food takes, your suggestions if you're in the Chicago area, where I should eat next. Love it. And yeah, just thanks for everybody that keeps this show going.
Awesome. Love it. Guys, I've already said my piece. I feel like I had something to say on the way out the door, but honestly, it doesn't matter. We love having you here, and we'll see you again next week. Bear down, everyone.
And shout out Aldo, too. Appreciate
shout out to Aldo, man. Thank you for giving us the platform.
Yeah, for sure.
Guys, we'll see you next week.
All right. Good night.
There's a party over here and a party over there. All my Bears fans, let's get your bear on. All my football fans, let's get your bear